What's up guys, this is Ollie and I'm afraid I got some really bad news. I didn't get perfect scores on all of the epic and legendary encounters. So for that reason, because I'm so ashamed of myself, I cannot show you any of my runs because I don't want to share what I got with you. I am feeling deeply ashamed and I will see you guys at the next adventure. Just kidding. I got everything. I got almost everything. I got the strategies down for every single level. The only thing that I'm missing is a little bit of luck, and maybe you're luckier than me or you have some units that are better than me. So without any further ado or stalling, I'm sorry for the shock, let's take a look at epic encounter number 1. This is a pretty tricky one. So here we need to get a lightning victory and we need to deploy only Caven Realm heroes. So RIP new players in this game. The strategy is relatively straightforward, at least your first move. Everybody knows the first move needs to be Queen Akeshru in the general direction of Katsume. Now there's something tricky here. You don't go for the special. You do not need the special, because if you don't go for the special, these two toons on the left hand side, they survive. And that's good, because that means you can crit with Nimrul, and Nimrul doesn't move in and they are all dead immediately. So now we can see where this is going. We suddenly have a lot of darkness spread on the left hand side. Now we can actually play Voyasa of all units I've ever talked about, damage this other guy a little bit more, and then we start with Ranaklu, go for the gigantic attack. So you see there's enough targets on the board, so the gunners are shooting the other guys, and then all of our guys are moving in. So this is where everything went wrong a little bit, because I think there's a misplay in here. I'm 200% there's a misplay in here. So now this is the tricky part where you really need to decide which unit is moving where, and this is a mistake. I should have used Umanu, I should have used Umanu, I should have used Umanu, and then after Umanu does this, actually this is also incorrect. The first move needs to be the first move needs to be Umanu, yes, and then Voyasa needs to take out the skeleton because Voyasa is my weakest unit. And now you can see there's infinite me going back and forth, which unit should attack, which unit should attack. And in the end I'm deciding like, okay, I need to take one guy out with Umanu. It's the only guy that I can connect with Umanu, because I misplayed, I know. I'm deeply ashamed of myself, to be honest. And now I can take out this one guy, and the problem is, and my Ranaklu is not standing on darkness. I was hoping that Ranaklu would end up in darkness, because that would have meant that he can shadow walk, shade walk, whatever walk, all over the map. And now we have one more opponent, we have two more attacks. So you can see where this is going. You're like, come on, crit hit, crit hit, crit hit, there's a crit hit, and he survives. I see what you're doing, Snowprint. You want me to invest in Voyasa? And I will do it. I will get the perfect score. Epic encounter number 2 is by far the trickiest encounter, because you have to play rogues and they need to be dark units. RIP new players. You need to have 4 particular units. It's Nimrul, it's Katsume, it's Shun, and of course Umanu. So there's different lineups, there's 2 different lineups. The 2 positions that you can swap around are Shun and Umanu. Those 2 you can move. The other ones are set in stone. So this needs to be your opening. If your Nimrul is not as weak as mine, you're going to take out all 3 of these guys. Then you can move in with Umanu. You should not go for the special yet. I think I'm making a misplay here. Yes, because you're taking out the gunner. You do not want to take out the gunner at the bottom, because the gunner at the bottom needs to be taken out with Katsume's special. Katsume needs to move 2 fields down and then hit the 3 guys in a row until hopefully all 3 are dead. Most of the time 2 of these guys are dead. Now I'm showing you a special cheat here, because we feel like, okay, we're done. But Shun has a special secret power. You can heal him by going into his ghost form. So now the only thing that didn't go right is the way that the darkness was spreading at the top. If the darkness had spread to the field on the bottom rather than to the top right, I would have stopped the skeleton from connecting with Umanu. And once I can stop the skeleton from connecting with Umanu, it cannot get close enough to kill me outright. And you can see where this is going. I'm winning after this. So if you're a little bit more lucky than I was here, and you're playing a little bit more correctly, and you do have a Katsume that's a little bit stronger, which also helps, or Nimrul that is maxed out at rare, you're gonna do this with a perfect score. I came close, couldn't get the job done, you can. Before we move on with epic encounter number 3, I have to give a very quick shout out to Kyle. Everybody knows Kyle from the official Discord, where he's replying to infinite support tickets, always in the mix, telling people what's going on with Snow Prince Rivengard. Thank you so much, my man. I reached out to him and he actually showed me the strategy for epic encounter number 2. Don't want to forget about him. I couldn't have done it without his input. I never came close. So shout out to Kyle. Back to epic encounter number 3. Here we have to play ranged units, which is my favorite condition because it gives you so much freedom. You can really bring your own playstyle in. So I had one attempt with a Tim and then I realized that Tim is really not a good unit when you're running Tim against other epic units. Tim is only good at like common to rare status and then from legendary onwards. And epic is where he's really bad. So we are controlling the right hand side with Gix. We are controlling the left hand side with Servidus. Now Shun can only connect with our frog at the front. This is why we need a frog at the front, or we should have a frog in the front. Then we can start getting some work done on these guys at the bottom. And now only one of our units is getting hit, because we have 2 frogs. You need to get lucky, you need to have at least 2 frogs, otherwise the gunners on the right side are gonna shoot your Gix, which is not what you want. The unit that was damaged here is not much of a problem, that she got damaged, because it's Granny. And Granny can just heal up again. So we're good. We're 100% great, in fact. So now the only thing we have to do is make sure that all of these gunners always have a target that is not one of our units. So Servidus makes short use of Shun. Shun is basically out of the game at this point. And then we still have Gix that can take out 1 unit, and we have Queen Akeshru. So we only need to think, okay, where do we attack? Gix is gonna take 1 gunner out, and on top of that we're gonna get a summon, a skeleton, courtesy of Granny. Then Queen Akeshru could have attacked the one at the bottom, but I'm going for the one on the right, because that means everybody has a target that they can hit. And we're good. For a second I had to think, like, where's the last opponent? Oh, here it is. Okay, and then we vine him again, we crit him again, and that's basically a perfect score in this encounter. Which takes us to the legendary encounter, where we again have to deploy the Caven Realm faction. This is another tricky one, but I would argue that it's not as tricky as most of these epic encounters. Like, generally speaking, I like this adventure a lot. I thought it gave us like quite a few things to think about. So the main thing here is positioning. You need to make sure that Runner Clue can connect. You need shades. You need shades. This is 100% the most important thing. Then the other thing is that you need to send in Nimrul, obviously, because Nimrul can create darkness. And of course you also need to send in the Dark Dragon, courtesy of Queen Akeshru, so she can also create some more shades and mostly darkness, because these guys are pretty strong. So now Nimrul needs to kick things off on the left hand side with his special, go in and then just spread some darkness. This is just a rare Nimrul, so if you're like, oh my god, I don't have this unit as like an epic, a pimped out version or something like that, it's just a rare Nimrul. Yeah, hold your horses. The most important unit here is Umanu, which we can see in a second, because we're moving in with Umanu. Suddenly there's darkness everywhere, and then the Night Triple, because all of these opponents are now shrouded in darkness, is just completely going ham. And then you need a strong-ish Runner Clue. He doesn't need to be super strong. Mine is an epic one. He's not legendary yet. Give me another week or so. And that's it. That's the level. Yes, I know there's stuff happening, but you don't have to pay much attention. This is over. This is 3 stars and a perfect score in the legendary encounter, which I quite enjoyed, to be honest. Although this was not my first attempt, I needed a couple of attempts to get this done. So that's already it for this festival. Again, shout out to my man Kyle, who helped me out. I was really like, hey, do you guys test these levels? I don't think they're possible. And he was like, I test everything. I ran every single encounter. I don't even equip my units, and I can still get perfect scores. And then for the first time ever, I felt pretty bad, because normally I felt like I was having a pretty good grasp of these adventures. Apparently not. Alright. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this walkthrough helped you guys. I will get a perfect score tomorrow. I know, I just ran out of tickets today, but I think I got the strategies down. I actually put more work into Voyasa. I hate myself for that. I kinda have to say kudos to Snowprint. They made me invest in Voyasa. That's like the last thing I ever thought I was going to do. Yeah, you got me. You got me there. Alright guys, if you want to learn more about Rivengard, if you want to stay up to date with how to play this game and become an absolute master in this game, follow this channel, subscribe to the channel, give this video a like and leave a comment if you got some other strategies, and then I'll see you very soon, either on the official Discord, of the Discord of my squad, Eternal Nexus, or of course in the arena where I like to play the most. See you guys very soon.